Hola, good afternoon. Buenas tardes a todos. Hoy estaré contestando sus preguntas sobre advanced parole. Today I will be answering any questions that you have with advanced parole or for advanced parole. All right, ¿a quién tenemos? Who do we have today? Who's watching? Ask your questions en inglés y en español. I did advanced parole el año pasado. Mandé mi aplicación en marzo por razones humanitarias y me aprobaron en mayo por entradas múltiples, 5 meses, y fui 2 veces a México. Así que si tienen preguntas, recuerden que esto no es consejo legal, sino mi experiencia. This is not legal advice, this is just my experience. So, yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I'll be here for about an hour. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. ¿A quién tenemos el día de hoy? Digan hola. Have y'all submitted your AP? What reasons have y'all used? How much time have y'all been given? Si no han mandado su aplicación, ¿por qué? ¿Han leído las guías? We sound like a broken record saying, have you read the guides? But yes, the guides are really important. They have everything there. But if there's something that is not on the guides or that you have any questions about, just ask them here. I'm going to see if I can find my advanced parole document so I can show it to y'all. All right, there we go. All right, this is my advanced parole document. That stamp is from DFW when I returned in July. I went with my brother, he's a citizen, y él se formó en la línea de ciudadanos y yo me quedé en la línea de extranjeros y se tardaron mucho. Fue como 2 horas de espera, pero ya cuando entré al cuartito, which is secondary inspection, inspección secundaria, esperé como media hora ahí y no me hicieron preguntas. Lo único que me dijeron es, me llamaron mi nombre, thank you, have a good day, y ya, me fui. Y luego fui a recoger las maletas. Entonces, ese es el documento, dice multiple entries. Y no se fijen a donde dice one day. Eso no tiene nada que ver con nosotros. All right. Alba Medina, ¿cómo estás? Submitted last month, so excited. Yay! Alvarenga Calderón, ¿en qué fecha están ahorita aprobando el advance parole? La última fecha que vi fue alrededor de septiembre, la primera semana de septiembre. Pero recuerden que cuando están aprobando las aplicaciones no es aprobaciones lineares, así que si están en la fecha de septiembre 8, pero tú la sometiste antes de eso, no te preocupes. I mean, vendrá tu aprobación. All right. Litsi Torres. Hi, I'm Litsi. I'm applying for AP for dental. Was yours for dental? Any tips or advice? I have my estimate and in the process of going through the application. My advanced parole was not for dental. It was for humanitarian reasons. I applied because my grandmother is sick. And I also included my grandfather's death certificate, and he passed away in 2016. So I used both reasons. If you are part of our Facebook group, Dreamers Together Official, we do have a search bar. You can do dental AP Or you can also search Jose Granados. He has done AP for dental reasons, and he has gone to Mexico like over 10 times for his dental purposes. So yes, the more I would say like procedures that you need done, the better it is that you would get like a longer time frame, multiple entries to go to, let's say Mexico. And it doesn't have to be Mexico. It could be your country of birth, or if you don't want to go all the way to your country, then you can do across the border to Mexico. So yeah, I would suggest you join our group, Bici Torres, and go use a search bar for people who have done AP for dental purposes. Hello, Lenin Martinez Resendiz. You don't need a lawyer to apply for AP, right? No, because if you did, then half of us wouldn't be here. We do have some lawyers in our group. Charles Cook is the best. But no, you don't need a lawyer to apply for AP. If you take the time to read the application, you'll realize how, I mean, it's only a couple of questions long, and they're not difficult questions. I mean, half the application is your information, exactly how you do for that guy, like where do you live, your address, your birth, social. And then at the end, it'll say, um, uh, one entry or multiple entries, click multiple entries. I always say to people, do multiple entries. But yeah, you don't need a lawyer. Um, there was this one quote I saw for AP with a lawyer, and she was charging $2,000 plus translation fees. So I mean, the application is $575 plus shipping and handling. Um, it's super easy. The hardest part is translating documents if you're doing it yourself, and getting the your your evidence. So I mean, it's a super easy application. So you don't need a lawyer. Hey Maria, ¿cómo estás? Happy to see you. You're welcome, Litsi. Isaac Lopez, my DACA expires August. Should I renew it first before applying for AP? So we suggest that you renew your DACA 120 to 150 days before expiration. So we are about 7 months before it expires. So you could send in your AP application now and then renew later if you'd like. Lenin Martinez Resendiz, you are very welcome. All right. Any other questions that we have? All right. Carla Muñiz, ¿quién califica para AOS, ajuste de estatus? Solo para un recordatorio, en este momento no estoy contestando preguntas sobre ajuste de estatus, porque este live es para contestar preguntas sobre Advanced Parole, pero las personas que califican para ajuste de estatus son personas que tienen entrada legal. Si tú entraste con una visa cuando eras menor de edad, entonces eso cuenta como una entrada legal. Even if you overstayed with your visa, that is still a legal entry. Si obtuviste AP y entraste al país, eso es una entrada legal. Ahora, necesitas un patrocinador para ajuste de estatus. Puede ser un esposo o esposa ciudadana, un hijo, hija, mayor de 21 años, sí, 21 años, que es ciudadana. Y en en poquitos casos también he visto que el empleador también puede asistir para eso. Pero si quieres aprender más sobre eso, únete a nuestra página AOS AOS-Dreamers Together. Pero por el momento no estoy contestando las preguntas sobre AOS porque no tengo la información y no quiero dar información incorrecta. Pero eso es lo que sé sobre ajuste de estatus. You're welcome, Isaac. ¿Qué otras preguntas tienen el día de hoy? De nada. Ahora, para su Advanced Parole, Recuerden que el proceso es de 3 a 4 meses, entonces si ustedes quieren viajar con otros familiares, recuerden que ellos también necesitan pasaporte para viajar. Your family members also need their passports to travel, so make sure that you are planning in advance and you're not waiting until the last minute to get passports expedited because it is expensive. And unlike, my Mexico's consulate, you get your passport the same day. It is not the same for, US citizens. They have to wait a couple of weeks or even months. So make sure that you are planning in advance. Additionally, when you are sending your advanced parole application, like I said, it is taking 3 to 4 months. So I suggest you take a note of that. If I'm sending it today, I need to make sure that I will be free in 3 to 4 months to take off. Advise your employer, hey, I'm sending this application. I will need this time off. Your kids, will they be in school? ¿Con quién se van a quedar? So make sure that you are planning and thinking about those things. I know that we get excited and we just send it off and then like we forget about, the extra stuff that we need to do. But yeah, start planning ahead. Carla Muñiz, ¿es recomendable poder volver a aplicar para AP? Sí, con que tengas el dinero y un motivo para volver a aplicar, por favor, aplica las veces que quieras. Si quieres aplicar por razones dentales, con que tengas una cotización actualizada, puedes volver a aplicar. Si estás aplicando para un familiar enfermo, con una carta médica actualizada, puedes volver a aplicar. No hay límite para las veces que puedas aplicar para Advanced Parole. What is the best way to apply for Advanced Parole? Good afternoon, Carla Martinez. The best way to apply for advanced parole, well, I wouldn't say there is a best way, but the most common way is to visit an ailing family member or a sick family member. We have seen several dental advanced parole applications that have been approved. I would say those are the most popular ones. But if you have the time to look over our guides and use our search bar, then you can see the other types of approvals that we have seen. Isaac Lopez, my sister asked, ¿qué tan reciente puede ser la nota del doctor? We advise the doctor letter not to be more than 2 months old, just so you can prevent getting a RFE, which is a request for evidence. So this request for evidence, USCIS will send out to say, hey, we see here that you're requesting advanced parole, but this doctor's letter is old. So do you really need to go out? And if you do, well, then send us an updated doctor's letter. So, you would send, or if you are traveling for an ailing, for your sick relative, then you would send the updated doctor's letter. But yeah, don't let it be older than 2 months. Would braces work? Braces are perfect. Yes, braces do work. Oscar Ramos, hola, yo tengo DACA ya hace 4 años y no había intentado aplicar para AP porque he preguntado a abogados y todos me dicen que solo puedo aplicar si es emergencia, pero en este grupo he visto que muchos abogados no saben sobre Advanced Parole o no están informados. En nuestra plataforma tenemos los mejores abogados si quieres aplicar con un abogado, pero no tiene que ser emergencia. Claro, si hay una emergencia, puedes hacer InfoPass, que eso es Advanced Parole para emergencias. Eso es si hay un caso de vida o muerte. Puedes aplicar para emergencias, pero puedes aplicar si tienes a un familiar que, no está en vida o muerte. Si está enfermo, puedes aplicar por razones dentales, educacionales. Si tu trabajo tiene una conferencia en otro país, puedes aplicar por ese motivo. Pero Oscar Ramos, sugiero que te unas a nuestra página de internet, de Facebook, Dreamers Together, oficial, para que veas nuestras guías. Por dental es suficiente razón para ser aprobado. Claro, como expliqué hace ratito, puedes usar razón dental para aplicar. Tenemos a un miembro que se llama José Granados. I think José Granados, sí. Él ha usado Advanced Parole por razones dentales y él ha viajado a México más de 10 veces. Entonces, all right, Betty y Sass. Escuché que tienen abogados. ¿Cómo los contacto para una pregunta? Bueno, ¿cuál es tu pregunta, Betty? A ver si yo te le puedo contestar. El abogado que tenemos más popular es Charles Cook. Puedes buscarlo en nuestra barrita de búsqueda, pero si tú tienes una pregunta y la quieres hacer ahorita, yo te la puedo contestar si tengo la información. All right, Oscar Ramos, muchas gracias. Ya me uní al grupo de Facebook y de ahí llegué aquí en YouTube. Ok, perfecto, sí. Eh, Esto es un anuncio para todos los que están viendo. No se olviden de leer nuestras guías. Hay muchas personas que son nuevas y, o sea, no saben cuál es el primer paso para aplicar para AP. El primer paso es leer las guías. Lean, no tengan miedo. Y eso es otra cosa. Perder el miedo. Como este Oscar comentó en su comentario previo que los abogados le dicen, no apliques para Advance Pro, eso es para emergencia solamente. No, aquí te podemos decir que eso es falso. Agua coco es the best. Yes, es mi agua favorita. Ok, ¿qué otras preguntas tienen, mi gente? Otro comentario. Tienen que tener su vacuna de COVID para viajar y entrar, bueno, para entrar a los Estados Unidos. Entonces, para nosotros que tenemos DACA, asegúrense que tengan sus vacunas de COVID. Los ciudadanos no necesitan la vacuna y los residentes permanentes tampoco la necesitan. Entonces, sí, nosotros sí la necesitamos. Cuando yo llegué me estaba subiendo al avión, me dieron esta cartita. La aerolínea American Airlines dice Proof of COVID vaccination for non-citizen, non-immigrants, passenger disclosure and attestation to the United States of America. All right. A proof of COVID vaccination for non-citizen, non-immigrant passenger disclosure and attestation to the United States of America. So don't risk traveling without being vaccinated. Please, 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 please. Don't do it. Travel at your own risk if you don't have it. I mean, we will not discuss this. It is not up for discussion. That is per CDC guidelines. All right, Betty y Sass, creo que nuestra pregunta de AP es acerca de cómo saber si tengo un caso por parte de mi hija que tiene síndrome de Down y X y por tener más de 10 años aquí, pero yo vengo de acá. Por el momento no estoy contestando preguntas sobre ajuste de estatus, si es lo que me estás tratando de preguntar. Si quieres saber más sobre eso, puedes unirte a nuestra página de AOS at Dreamers Together oficial o puedes buscar a Charles Cook en nuestra barra de búsqueda y puedes preguntarle a él eso, pero no tengo esa información, perdón. Tony Tapia, apenas hoy los empecé a seguir y estoy esperando la aceptación en Face para saber cómo empezar con AP. Ok, Tony Tapia, ahorita en un segundito, bueno, después de que termine eh, el live, voy a buscarte. No sé si también en Facebook tengas Tony Tapia, pero te voy a aceptar. Carla Martínez, other than braces, what else can get done to get approved? Carla Muñiz, ¿qué requisitos piden para aplicar por razones dentales? Carla Muñiz, please go read our guides. So you would need a quote from a dentist in Mexico and then a quote from a dentist here. So you can start your application. But you can search Jose Granados. He is AP number one, AP traveler number one, because he's used dental reasons to travel to Mexico. But you could do like a wisdom teeth removal, cleanings, stuff like that. Isaac Lopez, how long can I be out with AP, and what's the best airline to travel with AP? Um, you can be out as long as the time frame that you are given. Like for example, I was granted from May through October, so I technically could have been out that whole time frame. We do suggest you come like a week in advance before your AP expires, just in case anything happens in the airlines, or anything can happen. Um, and what is the best airline? I used American Airlines. They were great. Other people have used Aeromexico if they travel to Mexico, Aerobus if they travel to Mexico. I mean, it really all depends what your budget is. Um, if you are asking, like, what airline is most familiar, I think they are all pretty well versed on advanced parole, but I mean, it really all depends. Airlines have so many different employees, so it's not 100% that every employee is going to know about advanced parole, but for the most part, um, all of the airlines have been very knowledgeable about AP. If you'd like, you can also use our little search bar and search, your desired airline on there, and you'll see everyone's experience. Betty Isas, gracias, sí lo buscaré. Okay. Carla Muñiz, gracias. Sí, de nada. All right, ¿qué otras preguntas tienen? Let me know who's joined. Let me know if you've sent in your application. Let me know if you haven't. Let me know if you read the guides. All right, so just to reiterate, if you are just joining, I applied for advanced parole last year, sent my application in March. I applied for humanitarian reasons to visit my ill grandmother, and I also included my grandfather's death certificate, and he passed away in 2016. I've seen a lot of people ask about, can I visit graves? Yes, you can visit graves, but we highly recommend that you don't visit a grave, or your sole purpose for advanced parole is to visit a grave that is over 2 years old, because you will likely get denied, or I mean not denied, you'll get sent an RFE, which is a request for evidence. So if you want to visit a grave, I suggest adding another purpose, just like I did. And then I also got multiple entries. So another question that I see a lot is, how do you get multiple entries? So at the end of the day, it is up to the officer's discretion to grant you multiple entries. But in the advanced parole application, there is a section where it says one entry and then multiple entries, or one, yeah, something like that. Which is why I suggest that you guys read our guides, read the application, and you'll see it's not that hard. They're like yes, no questions, but on that particular part, you want to put multiple entries, and then on your statement, your affidavit, you do want to state why you need multiple entries. My reason was because I have a job and I could not stay past, a certain amount of time, so I needed multiple visits so I could travel within my desired amount of time frame. So yes, you need to mark multiple entries on your application and also state it on your statement, affidavit, and then include as much evidence as possible. Like I said, for me, I included my grandfather's death certificate as well as, my grandma's constancia médica. Do you guys, all right, Isaac Lopez, do you guys help with AP or do you guys just give a guide to do it? So yes, we do have one-on-ones. So that is based on a donation. So if anybody here can post the one-on-one link, please. But yeah, we have one-on-ones that you could schedule with us so that we can guide you. But yeah, I mean, I suggest you look at the guides first, start gathering your documents, use our search bar. I mean, that way you can gather all your documents first. But yes, we do have our one-on-ones that you can schedule with us as well. And we also have a video on YouTube on how to fill out the AP application. I'm not on, I'm unable to send the link right now, but if somebody on here has the link, then you can, if somebody can post it, or you can also use our search bar. You can just use search one-on-one. The search bar is like a Google search engine. If you put a keyword, you'll get everything that previous members have published. So yeah, go on the search bar actually. That way you can learn how to use it. Search one-on-one and then it'll pop up. All right, Jasmine. Mi amigo está en proceso para agarrar su residencia por su mamá. ¿Qué es residente permanente? Mientras él sigue en proceso, ¿él puede aplicar por AP? Sí, claro, puede aplicar para Advanced Pro. Pero ahorita no estoy contestando preguntas sobre ajuste de estatus, residencia, porque yo tampoco, todavía no he metido mi aplicación para residencia y mi esposo es ciudadano. Entonces todavía me falta eso, pero sí, si quieres saber más sobre eso, puedes unirte a nuestra página de Facebook AOS-Dreamers Together. Adelina Penalosa, hola, una pregunta. ¿Qué tiene que decir la carta del doctor de mi papá? Es solo una constancia médica. Puedes, ¿cómo se dice? En la barra de búsqueda, como acabo de mencionar, puedes poner constancia médica y luego ahí va a salir todas las constancias médicas. Yo también publiqué mi constancia médica que usé, así que puedes hacer clic en mi nombre, ahí la publiqué. Where did you say to look for José Granados? The search bar, la barra de búsqueda. Voy a seguir diciendo eso porque es una herramienta muy útil. The search bar. Go to our Facebook page and then at the top right corner, there's going to be like the little lupa and, search keywords like, for example, DFW Airport. Ahí te va a salir todas las personas o experiencias que hemos tenido con ese aeropuerto. Puedes poner constancia médica. Hay personas que han publicado sus constancias médicas. Yo también publiqué la mía y también tenemos ejemplos. Así que usen la barra de búsqueda. Barra de búsqueda. La barra de búsqueda. Vete a nuestra página oficial en Facebook. Ahí vas a ver la lupa en la esquina de la derecha. Ahí va a aparecer la lupita. Puedes poner constancia médica, puedes hacer clic en mi nombre. Yo también publiqué mi constancia médica, pero cualquier doctor debería de saber qué es una constancia médica. Entonces, nunca menciones que es para propósitos de Advanced Parole o propósitos de inmigración, porque luego hay doctores que te van a cobrar o van a querer sacarte dinero. Solo dile a tu papá o dile a tu familiar que vaya a un doctor y que le pida por una constancia médica en la barra de búsqueda. Barra de búsqueda. Search bar. Like Google, just search keyword, it'll pop up. Clarisa Joana Rojas Rivas, ¿puedo volver a aplicar por la misma razón? Fui en noviembre a Honduras y me gustaría volver a aplicar. Claro que sí. Con que tengas, ¿cómo se dice? Prueba actualizada. No sé por qué razón aplicaste. Si fue por razón de un familiar enfermo, solo tienes que tener una carta de doctor actualizada. O si fuiste para motivos de dentales, una carta del doctor actualizada. Entonces, puedes volver a aplicar por la misma razón, con que tengas eh, razón válida para volver y la evidencia actualizada, puedes volver. Condiciones médicas de mi abuelito. Sí, puedes volver a aplicar. Solo consigue esa constancia médica actualizada. No tienes que traducir las actas de nacimiento otra vez, nada, porque ya cuando un documento está traducido, no se tiene que traducir otra vez. There is no cap on the amount of time that you're able to apply for AP. If you have the money, if you have the reason to travel again, then please, by all means, do it and don't lose this opportunity. La primera vez lo hice con InfoPass. ¿Puedo volverlo a hacer igual? Si tu enfermo sigue igual de malito, pues sí, lo puedes hacer por InfoPass otra vez. Pero recuerda que InfoPass, la aprobación está a la discreción del oficial. Entonces, si por una razón no te aprueban ese día, entonces lo puedes mandar por correo. Love the cocoa drink. Violeta Lopez. Yes, it is my favorite. I like the little coconut chunks that I like to munch on them. Sí, de nada. Entonces, para las personas que no saben lo que es InfoPass, InfoPass es Advanced Parole para emergencias. Si tienes a un familiar que está muy enfermo, es razón de vida o muerte, puedes aplicar para InfoPass. Vas a necesitar los mismos documentos que necesitarías si lo mandaras por correo y llamas a USCIS. Ellos te vuelven a regresar la llamada dentro de 3 días, usualmente dentro de 3 días. Ellos hacen una cita en la oficina de huellas más cercana y la aprobación es a la discreción del oficial. Así que si no te aprueban, no pagas los $575. Pero si te aprueban, sí pagas los $575. Violeta Lopez, is AP only for DACA holders? I believe it is also for TPS holders. I don't have that information or the knowledge for TPS Advanced Parole. But if you'd like, you can use our search bar TPS Advanced Parole. But yes, usually DACA holders, or it's most common that DACA holders do have, for AP. I'm going to botch this name. So, Mr. Arzeta, do you recommend I fill out AP application myself or with a lawyer? I'm afraid of making a mistake. So, if you needed AP or a lawyer to do AP, this group would not exist. So, we created this group to empower DACA individuals with DACA to apply themselves, to be empowered enough to apply themselves. If you just take a moment to go to USCIS, download the application, take a look at the questions, you'll see it's not that hard. And you're going to pay a lawyer thousands of dollars so they can fill out that application, because the rest of the work, you're going to do it. You're going to be the one that gathers, birth certificates. You're going to be the one that gathers, if you're applying for a sick relative, the letter of the sick relative. You're going to be, the only thing that the lawyer is going to do is fill out the questions, zip it up, and send it. And you're going to be $2,000, short. So I recommend that you do it by yourself. It's not hard. The hardest part is gathering the documents, because doctors can take a while. Your family member has to go there, or whatever reason that you're applying for. And then the translations, which, by the way, we also have a translation team here. So fill it out yourself. I always say fill it out yourself. If you can fill out your DACA application by yourself, you can fill out the AP application by yourself. Nancy R. Hernandez. My husband has multiple entries AP, and we will be submitting AOS. which asks for his latest entry date, but what if he uses his AP while he is waiting for AOS, which will change the last entry date? Should he not use his AP so it doesn't change the date? I don't think it would matter if, you submit your adjustment of status packet and then keep using your advanced parole. But at this time, I am not answering anything that has to do with AOS because this is a advanced parole live only. So if you would like to know more about adjustment of status, join our AOS-Streamers Together page. I'm not going to be answering AOS questions because I don't have that knowledge. Eric Roman, I will be visiting Mexico in the next 3 months, just waiting for my approval. I would like to know if there will be an issue exiting through Puerto Rico and doing a layover at a country I did not put in the application. Exiting through Puerto Rico. Ooh. I would put down the country that you are having a layover with, but I don't suggest you, having a layover in another country that is not in your application. So if you can find a flight that is direct, please do it because, make sure that you don't need a visa to have a layover in the country that you have a layover. Ashley Rosado, would you recommend filing for AOS right after advanced parole? So, like I said, I'm not going to be going in depth about AOS because I don't have that knowledge, but adjustment of status is, getting your green card through a citizen spouse, a child over 21 that's a citizen, and in very few cases, employer-based petition. So once you do have a legal entry and you have a sponsor, you can do adjustment of status. If you came in with a visa when you were young, that does count as a legal entry. So even if you overstayed your visa, you still have a legal entry. But yes, if you want to know more about adjustment of status, join our AOS-Dreamers Together group. Itzia Montiel, hi, I have a few reasons to go. My grandpa, who is over 80 years old, and my dad, who has medical conditions and haven't seen both in 30 years. However, I don't keep in touch, but I would love to see them. I apologize, but you still need to have that, you still need proof. So, ask if they can send you a constancia médica, a letter from a doctor stating that they are ill. Then you can use both reasons, both your grandpa and dad, to go, and then you have a higher chance of getting multiple entries for whatever country you are trying to visit. But you still need that proof. Nancy R. Hernandez. Okay, thanks. Yes, of course. Itzia Montiel. I also have dental and in-laws that I do keep in touch with. Do you recommend I do one by one or all at once? Yes, do it all at once. Like I said earlier, the more evidence that you attach with your advanced parole, the higher chance you are at getting multiple entries in a longer state or a longer time frame. So yes, you could do all those reasons at once, or if you want, if you have the money for each application, then you can do one by one. And then you can also apply for the same reason again at a later date if you'd like, with updated evidence. Mm-hmm. You are welcome. And I do suggest you join our Facebook group, Itzia. Mr. Arzetta, are we able to fill out the AP application for different reasons like dental, visit a grave, sick relative? So yes, so as long as you have all of those, that evidence, then in your attestation that you include, right, I'm applying for dental, I'm also applying for a grave and sick relative. So you don't have to have a different application. You can use one application and use those different reasons. Like I said earlier, I applied to see my ill grandmother, and I also included my grandfather's death certificate. and then I got multiple entries for 5 months. So yeah, use the reasons that you like as long as you have evidence in one application. Of course. Eric Roman, I would like to know about who's asking for the vaccination card when coming back into the States. CBP officers or the airline. It could be either or, Eric Roman, so just be ready. Either or. I was asked for it before I boarded the flight. And I was also asked to fill out the attestation. Let me pull it out. So this attestation, it says, proof of COVID vaccination for non-citizens, non-immigrants, passenger, disclosure, and attestation to the United States of America. So as DACA holders, we are non-citizens. So we need to have this COVID vaccine to enter the United States. This does not apply to citizens or legal permanent residents. It says any passenger who fails to comply with these requirements may be subject to criminal penalties. Willfully providing false or misleading information may lead to criminal fines and imprisonment under, among other provisions. Providing this information can help protect you, your friends, and your families. CDC appreciates your cooperation. So unless you are willing to face any legal repercussions, please get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that is your choice. We respect that, but don't risk going out to a country and risk not getting let back in. So proceed at your own risk. Also, there's many members that say, well, I have one shot. Can I get the other one in my country? Don't do that. Please don't do that, because you're just stealing that vaccine from a person in a third world country who does not have access to those vaccines. And remember that those vaccines are not readily available like they are here in the States. So don't play. We will not discuss COVID vaccinations. It is required. Sandra Medina, I have an AP question. I have braces since 2018. My dentist retired and sold his clinic. He told me after 5 months I had started my braces process. Now I haven't been able to find any dentist that would like to remove them since it is not a work they did here in the US. However, one in Chicago can do it for $800 cash. I was able to find someone in Mexico, which I have the letter already saying que si me los quitan, and then en México, me hacen limpieza y empezar el proceso de braces otra vez por 9,000 pesos. That sounds like a good reason, Sandra Medina. That sounds like a good reason. Isaac Lopez, my sister and I are applying AP for same reason and same time. Would that be a problem, or would we need a different reason? Isaac Lopez, no, that's perfect. You both can use the same reason, same evidence. You guys can even send it in the same packets. So for example, you fill out your own AP application, include all the evidence, and then your sister also fills out her own AP application, attaches the same evidence, and then you send it in the same envelope, and boop. Oh, don't forget that in your attestation, your statement, say, I am applying with my sister. We are requesting the same dates. Have her write that in her attestation too. I'm applying with my brother. We want the same dates due to da 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 da. And then send it in the same envelope. That way USCIS gets it the same day. Natalie, hey, get those dentists to write you a letter or email stating that they will not remove due to not being their work. Perfect way to show you. Oh, perfect. That is, yeah. Perfect way to show you need to go out the U.S. Yes, that is perfect. Mirna Rivera Segovia, do you know if a U visa can be expedited and what reason would apply? I am not answering any U visa questions. This is only for advanced parole. I don't have that information. If Natalie, if you have that information, if you would please answer. If not, you could get in touch with one of our vetted lawyers, one of them being Charles Cook. I apologize, Mirna, I don't have that answer. Awesome, thank you. You're welcome. Claro que sí. Nidia P. Gonzalez, you think I should start wearing I sent everything on April 26th and nothing, waiting on my work permit and residence. What did you send on the 26th? Your AOS application or your AP application? I don't know what you're referring to. So Sandra Medina, I think she and Natalie is saying that if you can get those dentists just to state that they will not remove the braces, like in a letter or in an email, then that should be like a good enough piece of evidence. Nidia P. Gonzalez, I am not answering any adjustment of status questions right now. If somebody, Natalie, if you have, any guidance, please assist. But Nidia, I'm not answering any adjustment of status questions. I'm so sorry. This is only for advanced parole and my experience. I still have not sent my packet, so I will not be answering any of those. Lara Garcia, so if we don't get approved IP, they do not charge us the $575? So when you send your application, right, you send all the evidence and something is missing. Let's say you forgot to send your birth certificate. They will send you a request for evidence. That is them saying, hey, we need evidence. We're requesting evidence from you. You send the missing evidence, then they approve. If you don't send them the evidence in time, if you send something completely erroneous or irrelevant, you will get denied. Advanced parole applications are not flat out denied. They will always send requests for evidence, requesting evidence from you. I believe you probably heard me earlier talking about InfoPass, which is advanced parole for emergencies. That is completely, it's the same information, but it's you call USCIS, you schedule your appointment, or they call back, they schedule your appointment at your nearest biometric office. You present your evidence, the USCIS officers reviews it, they approve it, you pay $575. They don't approve it, you don't pay $575, but you can send it in the mail. So yes, advanced parole, send it by mail. They will always that the check is the first thing that they come on. They're gonna get their money. But for InfoPass is emergency situations only. If they approve it on the spot, you pay. If they don't approve it, you don't pay. You can still send it by mail. Sí, de nada. All right, Arceta. If DACA expires January 2024, do I have enough time to apply for AP? Yeah, you have enough time. The AP process takes about 3 to 4 months. The approval process takes about 3 to 4 months. So yeah, you have a year. Natalie Uribe, yes, U visa is extremely hard to expedite, especially because you are given a work permit and protected status in the meantime. Thank you, Natalie, for answering. But if you want to know more about like any adjustments of status related questions, please join our AOS Dreamers Together group. I'm not answering any AOS questions because I don't have that information and because I have not even sent my residency application, which I need to. But yes, this is only my AP experience and AP related questions. So to recap, you don't need a lawyer to apply for advanced parole. We have all of our guides in our guide section. The most common reasons to apply for advanced parole is sick relative, dental, and educational/work purposes. Please be vaccinated. This is not, it's not required for citizens and legal permanent residents. So, all right, next question. Eric Roman, I am very confused now because I contacted the Texas and Arizona Port of Entry and I asked about the vaccination card if they were asking for it, and they said that no matter what the status was, they were not asking for it. By the way, that was the terrestrial part of entry. I also called the Ontario airport here in California and talked to a CBP officer, and he told me that the airline is asking for. Right. Well, Eric Roman, proceed at your own risk. I will not be discussing vaccination. Like I said, you don't have it, perfectly fine. I'm not going to keep discussing this. It is required by CDC. And we are only going to give accurate information and not information that is going to put anybody at risk. So, like I said, proceed at your own risk. I signed this attestation. It says, I'll say it again. Willfully providing false or misleading information may lead to criminal fines and imprisonment under, among other provisions. So I will not be playing with CDC, CBP, USCIS, immigration. If you want to play with them, proceed at your own risk. I know, I need to send it. I think you're talking to me. Yes, I need to send it, but todavía no lo he completado. Hola, Liliana. Hola, una pregunta. Otra manera para aplicar para el Advance Parole es que fui apenas con la persona que me hace el renew de mi DACA. Me dijo que necesitaba ser una emergencia para poder salir o una persona muy grave, pero tendría que ser mi papá o mi abuelito por parte de mi mamá, porque es el único que tengo con vida y llevar la acta de nacimiento de todos, porque he escuchado ahorita que se puede aplicar para un dentista, algo que la persona no me mencionó nada. Yo le menciono, bueno, hola, buenas tardes, Liliana. Como eres parte de nuestro grupo, puedes ir a nuestras guías y puedes ver que no es necesario que sea una emergencia. Las personas que te están preparando tu DACA, tal vez es un notario. Los notarios legalmente no pueden llenar aplicaciones de DACA, primero. No pueden legalmente llenar cualquier forma de inmigración y muchos no saben. Eso es lo que me molesta de los abogados o de los notarios que se creen pasar por personas como attorneys o abogados que no saben. Por eso es que creamos este grupo para que personas aprendan y se empoderen para aplicar solitos. Como puedes ver, no es necesario que sea una emergencia, ¿ok? Entonces, no vuelvas a ir con esta persona. Ellos no tienen absolutamente nada de información. Melissa is this. When I was working with a lawyer regarding my AP application, I wanted to apply with my sister, and we only had one doctor note. They told me that in order for my sister to apply as well, she will need an original doctor's note. Is this true? That it's extremely erroneous information. Like I said right now, a lot of lawyers have completely zero knowledge, zero information on what it is advanced parole, on what advanced parole is. You don't need any original information. You only need copies because anything you send to USCIS, you are not going to see ever again. Don't send original birth certificates porque ya valió si les mandas tu copia original. So you can use the same doctor's note, right, for you and your sister because that I'm guessing you're applying to see a relative. That is your sister's relative as well. So I mentioned earlier, you can apply for the same reason, you and your sister, same evidence, different application, right? Because each one of you will need to fill out an advanced parole application, send out 2 different money orders, use same evidence, and you can send it in the same packet. That way it goes to the Arizona office together. Okay, so that lawyer has no idea what they're talking about. Jennifer Guerrero, the form and Dreamers Together PDF download says expired 2022. Is there a new form? So you can go to uscis.gov and download the most updated form. So sometimes USCIS doesn't update it for a couple of years and it'll say, 2000 last year. But as long as it's the form that USCIS has on their website, download it and it's still valid. Nubia y Omar Velázquez, ¿una persona con visa U puede salir o pedir advance parole? No tengo esa información. No sé sobre visa U. Natalie, si tú tienes esta respuesta, ¿me podrías ayudar? If you want to risk not being allowed on the plane or paroled into the U.S. because you didn't take proof of COVID vaccination, that is your personal decision. But we will provide factual info directly available on CDC, DHS, and Department of State official websites. Correct. We will not be discussing this. This is not up for debate. We respect everybody's choices, but we don't have that luxury in saying, I'm gonna play with USCIS or CBP or, whatever airline. Like I read earlier, you could face legal repercussions. So it's up to your own discretion whether you want to proceed that way or not. We will not mislead our fellow dreamers in the wrong direction. Yes, all USCIS forms are always up to date on the website, uscis.gov. So, yes, everything we have on our platform is directly from uscis.gov. De nada, Betty y Sass. Si aplico para AP, ¿puedo poner aparte de la enfermedad de mi abuelita visitar una tumba de mi hermana que falleció hace muchos años, pero su acta de defunción es California? Porque ella falleció aquí y enterrada en México. ¿Se podría esa opción? Sí, claro, se puede esa opción. No sé si tengas un documento diciendo aquí la enterramos en en esta ciudad, este estado. Puedes aplicar para esa razón. Yo también apliqué para ver a mi abuelo que falleció en el 2016. Incluí su acta de defunción y también incluí la constancia médica de mi abuela. Entonces, eso es posible. Esa es una razón válida. Claro que sí. Ya me acabó mi agua de coco. Okay, who just joined? ¿Quién acaba de unirse? También puedo contestarle sus preguntas en español. All right, Natalie. Si la visa U aún está pendiente, sí se puede viajar con AP, pero no más de 90 días máximo y sería mejor menos. Si la visa U ya está aprobada, no debería de viajar con visa U sin primero consultar con un abogado como Charles Cook. Muchas gracias, Natalie. Sí, nuestro abogado que nosotros, él también hace lives, él también se pone aquí algunas veces a contestar sus preguntas, así que, eh, stay pendientes. Charles Cook es el mejor abogado. He is the best. So if you search Charles Cook in our search bar, he will pop up and his information will also pop up. Juan Cruz, ¿puedo aplicar por mis suegros que tienen diabetes? ¿Diabetes o diabetes? No sé qué es diabetes. Sí, puedes aplicar por tu suegro, sí. Tienes que incluir tu copia de matrimonio. Aquí yo tengo la mía. Sí, puedes aplicar por eso. Saraí López, ¿cómo ir al dentista aquí en USA y pedir una evaluación? Y luego, ¿cómo pedir las fotos X-rays y qué decirles para que me puedan dar una cuota por escrito? Bueno, ¿cómo ir? Bueno, tienes que ir a hacer una cita con un dentista, pedirles una cotización aquí y luego llama al dentista en tu país que quieras aplicar y puedes llamarles. Aquí tengo mi cotización del dentista de los Estados Unidos, también tengo mis rayos X, se los puedes mandar, me puedes dar una cotización de cuánto va a costar. Tienes que llamar, tienes que llamar. Hay algunos dentistas que desafortunadamente no te van a querer ver sin verte en persona. Pero hay dentistas que dicen, sí, mándame lo que tienes, o mira, aquí te hago una cotización de cuánto va a costar el procedimiento. También si eres parte de nuestra página de Facebook, Saray López, sugiero que te unas. Ahí también tenemos las guías de razones dentales y también puedes buscar en nuestra barra de búsqueda José Granados. Él ha viajado a México más de 10 veces por razones dentales. José y Lili Santos, mi marido y yo tenemos DACA y queremos aplicar para Advance Pro. ¿Podemos enviar la aplicación juntos con las diferentes razones? Claro que sí. Sí puedes, los dos pueden aplicar por la misma razón, porque están casados. Entonces, si tu esposo quiere visitar a su mamá enferma, tú también, esa razón también puede ser la tuya. Y si tú quieres aplicar para ver a tu papá enfermo, los dos pueden usar las mismas razones porque están casados y no se olviden incluir una copia de su acta de matrimonio. Los dos van a llenar dos aplicaciones de Advance Parole diferentes y los dos pueden mandar su aplicación en el mismo sobre para que llegue juntos. Y en su declaración escrita pueden escribir, los dos tenemos que viajar juntos por X razón. Entonces sí, es posible. Adrián Ponce, ¿visitar a un amigo muy enfermo es válido o tiene que ser familiar? No he visto personas que han aplicado por amigos, no. Entonces no sé si eso puede ser motivo justo. Pero puedes tratar, o sea, puedes también incluir otra evidencia más que tu amigo enfermo. Sandra Medina, my sister and I are applying together for AP. Can we send the papers on the same package or it needs to be individual package? Cada quien tiene su propio folder con los papeles. Sí, pueden, o sea, both of y'all need to fill out different AP applications, right? Because, each application is $575. Each of you send $575 money order. Paper clip it together. Your sister paper clips her information as well, and then you can send it in the same envelope. That way it goes together, and in your statement, just say, we need to apply together for X reason. Mi abuelita falleció en octubre de 2020. ¿Podría yo aplicar para AP? Arturo Ventre. Es recomendado si estás aplicando para tumbas que no sea más de 2 años. Entonces, si mandas tu aplicación ahora, que apenas acaban de ser menos de 3 años, creo que sí hay posibilidad que te aprueben tu aplicación, pero si tienes a un familiar enfermo, sugiero que también incluyas ese motivo. José y Lili Santos, sí, de nada. Per USCIS instructions, same package, but bundles clip separately or in separate folders. Yes, correct. Si viajo, Jasmine, si viajo con AP, ¿puedo viajar con mis primos que son ciudadanos con la aprobación de mis tíos? Mis primos tienen 10 y 13 años. Sí, claro. Claro. Tus tíos que escriban una carta diciendo autorizo que Jasmine viaje con mis hijos y que esté notarizada para que sea oficial. Alma M. García Villavicencio. Se puede aplicar para 2 razones. Por ejemplo, para visitar la tumba de mi abuela y para visitar a mi abuelo enfermo. Sí, claro. Por esa razón yo apliqué. Mi abuelo falleció en el 2016 y mi abuela está enferma. Puedes aplicar para las 2 razones. No necesitas aplicaciones diferentes y va a ser tu aplicación un poquito más fuerte y hay posibilidad que te den entradas múltiples. Entonces, sí, puedes aplicar por las 2 razones. Okay, a little bit long, like 5 more minutes. A ver quién me hace otra pregunta. Yes, we also have a file section, guys. We have everything. We have a template in AP group files, parental consents for traveling with a minor. Yes. So, I mean, it just doesn't have to be long. It just, the gist of it is saying, I, Gabby, and Jose authorize Natalie to take Lil John on the trip and then notarized. So yes, it's possible. Alma M. García Villavicencio. ¿Y los documentos, como el acta de defunción, puede ser copia o la original? ¿Y si me la pueden mandar en foto y yo imprimirla? Claro. Nunca se mandan documentos originales. Siempre son copias. Te la pueden mandar por foto, por WhatsApp, por correo electrónico, por fax, con que sea legible y que se pueda traducir, no hay problema. Nunca se mandan copias originales, jamás, porque USCIS se las va a quedar. Entonces, sí, nunca se mandan cosas originales. I don't know if the guides say that, but you never send original documents to USCIS. Always copies, always copies, copias. No importa de qué manera te la mandan, por WhatsApp, que es lo más fácil para muchos, correo electrónico, fax, aunque sea legible, no tiene que ser en color, puede ser en blanco y negro. Sí, de nada. Denise Valtierra, do we know why a lot of AP approvals are being shortened? I don't have that information. And what do you mean by shortened? Like not enough time? I mean, it also could be that people are not requesting that long. I always say, pidan más tiempo de lo que ustedes piensen sea necesario. Entonces, si tú, o sea, estás aplicando para AP, estás pagando $575, ¿por qué vas a pedir 2 semanas? Siempre pide más tiempo, pide meses, pide entradas múltiples, escribe en tu statement, declaración, necesito este tiempo para viajar porque mi trabajo no me deja estar fuera del trabajo por mucho tiempo, but as far as being shortened, I'm not USCIS and I don't have that information. That is just my speculation. Sandra Medina, do I need my passport just to apply for AP? I know I need it to travel for sure, but want to send my AP before renewing my passport. Yeah, you don't need your passport to apply. You need it to travel. Your kids also need passports to travel. So please don't ask me or don't post, hey, my EP expires next month. My kids don't have their passports. You should have thought about it. Always think in advance, always plan in advance. You don't need your passport to apply for advanced parole. You need it to travel. So please, mi gente, pónganse las pilas, manden las aplicaciones de pasaportes de sus hijos y si no están planeando viajar con sus hijos, entonces también piensen con quién se van a quedar sus hijos, si tienen hijos, si van a ir con su esposo que es ciudadano, ellos también tienen que tener pasaporte. Entonces sí, planeen en adelantado. Yes, you need your passports to travel. Your kids need passports to travel. Your kids need passports to travel, and United States passport does not, you don't get that in a day. It takes weeks or it could take months. And it's expensive if you try to expedite it. My husband just got his passport to go to Cancun, and he had to pay like an extra $100 to get it. So don't be like my husband. Don't plan in advance. Get those passports. Get those passports. Laura Olguin, if I did not explain in my affidavit why I need multiple entries, will I be denied for multiple? So at the end of the day, it is up to the officer's discretion to approve for multiple entries. So if you clicked the multiple entry box, if you provided enough evidence, you have a higher chance to get multiple entries. If you don't get multiple entries, then you are more than welcome to apply again and include a strong statement declaration saying why you need multiple entries. But at the end of the day is at the officer's discretion for multiple entries. But remember, always check the multiple entry box and always include why you need multiple entries. And the more evidence that you attach, the better. All right, 5 minutos más. ¿Quién tiene sus últimas preguntas? Laura Holguín. Oh, perdón, Lauri Holguín. Sí, de nada. All right, any last minute questions? Preguntas de último minuto. Mr. Arsteta, do the documents need to be notarized or only translated? Every document needs to be translated, and with every translation, you need to have a translation certification. which states let's say I, Gabriela, declare that I am fluent in both English and Spanish and blah, 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 blah. We have a translation declaration in our Facebook group. You can just put translation declaration or something like that, statement. It'll pop up. They don't have to be notarized. Tony Tapia, si tengo un familiar muy enfermo, ¿significa que puedo salir múltiples veces para el AP? Como dije anteriormente, las entradas múltiples es a la discreción del oficial, con que tú marques en tu aplicación que quieres entradas múltiples y que en tu declaración incluyas la razón por la que tienes que viajar veces múltiples. Entonces hay una posibilidad mayor que el oficial apruebe las entradas múltiples. Anaí Solares, muchas gracias a este grupo por toda la información. Sí, de nada. What happens if for some reason I lose my passport in Mexico? Is there a consulate where I can get a new one? I mean, I assume so. But I hope you don't lose it. But yeah, keep it in a safe place. Tony Tapia, gracias. De nada. ¿Qué es lo que necesita decir en la carta médica de la persona mala? Liliana Texis, es una constancia médica. Nosotros hemos publicado en el grupo un ejemplo de la constancia médica. Si haces clic en mi nombre, yo publiqué la constancia médica de mi abuela, pero es una constancia médica. El nombre del paciente, la firma del doctor, el hospital o la clínica, cosas así. Y nunca mencionan que es para razones de advance parole o razones de inmigración, porque hay algunos doctores que tal vez te van a querer cobrar o pedir más dinero o algo así, o algunas veces no te la van a querer escribir. Entonces, sí, constancia médica, recuerden, usen la barra de búsqueda, use our search bar. We literally, if you have a question, a member probably already asked it. So use it like a Google search bar. I promise you, we have your questions have been answered already. Don't be afraid to scroll through people's posts, scroll through our files, scroll through our guides. Our search bar is there. No se olviden que también nosotros tenemos una barra de búsqueda. Si ponen constancia médica en la barra de búsqueda, si ponen mi nombre, Gabriela López en la barra de búsqueda, va a aparecer todo lo que yo he publicado. Yo he publicado la constancia médica de mi abuela, he publicado la traducción, he publicado muchas cosas. Entonces, no tengan miedo de ser detectives, saber qué encuentro. También tenemos nuestros archivos a donde puedes encontrar ejemplos. En nuestra página de YouTube tenemos un video de cómo llenar la aplicación. Es muy fácil, chicos, no tengan miedo, no dejen que el miedo los detenga para aplicar solitos. And with that being said, ya me voy a salir, tengo que cocinar. Nos vemos la próxima semana si tienen más preguntas. Estoy aquí todos los jueves en la tarde. Así que adiós, chao y gracias por todas sus preguntas.